So it's true. All of you media buyers online right now are struggling to grow your agencies. It's because of one reason in particular. Media buying has become commoditized, meaning that there is so many people offering the same service that you are, that the market really is sick of seeing your ads, your cold emails, and the same pitch they've heard 1,000 times before. Not only that, right now it's becoming more and more difficult to actually get great results online. Now, let me show you something that we've been working on over the last 2 years. It's a system that was able to help us generate $111,000 in 3 days for a client. Most importantly, we used no paid ads and just a mixture of AI and automation. I'm going to break down this video in a way that's very simple for you to understand. Most importantly, I'm going to give you the exact framework that we use to achieve this result. And at the end of this video, I'm going to give you access to a 58-page presentation which shows you the exact breakdown of how we achieve this, and it's going to be accessible via our school community. The school community we have currently has over 200 people on the waitlist. To access the presentation, just join the waitlist, and as soon as we open up the community, you'll be able to access the document in there. So very simply, we built an AI system that allows us to generate revenue from a client's data set. So a data set is one of two things. It's either a client's database where they have names, emails, and phone numbers, or it's a data set that you can actually create. So you can create a data set by, for instance, running an ad on Facebook promoting a competition, and the competition can generate you leads, and those leads drop in name, email, phone number. So we created a system that allows us to access a data set. AI will actually go out to everyone within that data set, have one-to-one conversations with them, and then sell them on particular services, packages, or treatments, or whatever your niche offers. Now, this is a really powerful way to actually grow an agency because you are now not relying on your customer, which is, the agency client that you sign. You're not relying on them to actually pay you $2,000 plus $4,000 for ad spend for the month for you to then get the mediocre results. Instead, you're already accessing a data set that they currently have and extracting value from that. The beautiful thing about this model is you're actually able to, for the first time, not get paid a set fee, but instead you're using a data set they currently have and extracting value from that. So because you are able to do this, you can actually ask for a percentage. Now, what is beautiful about this new business model essentially that we have created is that you have the ability to make tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars per client, rather than just making 2 to 3K for running their ads. Now, I'm going to break down exactly how we did this, which is a 5-step process. But before I do that, I'd like to show you a case study of how we actually achieved this result. So we had a client in Australia who owned a cosmetic clinic, and she came to us asking for more clients and essentially more revenue for her business. So we launched our Oasis system to her database, and within 3 days, we were able to generate her $111,000. Again, no paid ads, and most importantly, we did it for just $1,000 Australian, by the way, which was only used for text message and AI costs. So essentially, we had 111x for that particular client. In that particular deal, we were able to extract value for the client from their database, and you can do something similar. The clients that you actually extract value for, you can take a percentage, and right now we are taking 25 to 30% per deal that we achieve for the customer. So out of 100K, you work out the math. Now I'm going to show you the 5-step framework that we've built in order to help you understand exactly how to implement this for your clients. It actually works in a particular order, and the first step is actually leveraging the customer data. Now, we spoke about this originally, and what I mentioned was you can either build a data set by running a competition, for an example, or you can access a client's data set. Now, once you have this data set, you want to then upload it into a CRM system. It's something like High Level or whatever CRM system you would like to use. Once it's uploaded into the system, you can then begin step number 2, which is your strategy and execution. Step number 2 is one of the most important steps to actually understand, because this is where you are going to build the exact strategy that you are going to use to convert those particular customers. Now, depending on the niche that you're in, you'll have to build a unique strategy, but you can follow the same framework that I'm about to show you here. We've been working with high-end cosmetic clinics because we found that they are a very easy market with a buyer that has high intent to actually come in and use or purchase a service or treatment. So we decided to niche down in this particular niche. So step one, we want to segment the database. And what we are trying to do in this particular area is figure out behavior patterns of those customers. The behavior patterns are in regards to a few things. Number one is what services, treatments, or packages they're after. Number two, how much they're willing to spend. This is super important. Number three, how do they want it presented to them? You see, if you can understand your customers and you can understand exactly what they want, how they want it, and when they want it, all you need to do is package up the right offer to give directly to them. What we will do is send out a type form to those particular customers, and we'll actually get them to fill out a survey. And the survey is around 1 to 9 questions, depending on your niche and how many questions you need to ask. You want to ask those customers the exact questions you need to then get the information to sell to them later on. To get them to fill out the survey, you need to offer them something they can't refuse. So let me put it this way. If Nike came to you and said, hey Caleb, I want to give you a $400 Nike voucher, would you like one? What would you say? You'd obviously say yes, right? You want to go for the least path of resistance, and you want to unlock a layer of reciprocity. Reciprocity means I give you something and then you want to give me something back. Once they respond yes, you'll send them the type form. Once the type form is sent to them, you will then get all of the information you need to actually sell to them later on. But also, a hot tip is you want to make sure that you actually put some emotive questions in there. The clients sometimes are not as warm as you'd like them. And one of the best ways to actually get them in a buying frame of mind is to ask them emotive questions in order to spark an emotional response where they can then understand why they need your particular offer or service. So it doesn't matter what niche you're in, you just need to tailor this specifically for you. Step number 2 of strategy and execution is speaking with the business owner. Now, the business owner is going to give you context about their goals and, most importantly, what they would like to achieve out of the campaign. You'll also be able to get information with them around what particular clients buy and what are their most commonly sold treatments and services. If you can get this information from a client, this will give you more context to be able to build your offer, which you will then release in step number 4. Step number 3 of strategy and execution is being able to create an emotional roller coaster. Now, what do I mean by this? You need to understand that this is all about psychology. Understand how customers want to buy and how to actually create an emotional roller coaster that feels like they're being pushed and pulled and creates an emotional response for them to want to convert and purchase what you're presenting to them. The way you can create an emotional roller coaster is by using different tactics such as exclusivity, pushing and pulling methods, creating scarcity, and honestly, many other strategies and methods you could probably figure out. And last of all, using great copywriting. Copywriting is one of the key elements to creating an emotional roller coaster because most people these days, all they want to do is communicate via instant message rather than communicating via the phone. So you need to be able to master copywriting. And step number 4 of strategy and execution is being able to use AI to build and launch your campaigns. Now, what do I mean by this? So there are 2 ways that we use AI to be able to sell to our clients' customers. Number 1, we use conversational AI. And this is essentially an AI that's set up to act like a human and message a customer back and forth. The main constraint within this is going to be the prompt. This is a video for another time, so let me know in the comments below if you'd like that. But the prompt is a really big key of how the AI actually interacts with the customers. You need to understand that the AI has the ability to learn from the prompt and understand the customer as it's having the conversation. But you need to have the right prompts in place to be able to do this. Number 2 is voice AI. We've noticed that voice AI right now in sales environments isn't really living up to the hype. And that's because people aren't stupid. If you get a call from an AI, you know it's AI. After a 5 or 10 minute conversation, you can understand what's happening. If you are getting pitched and sold by an AI right now, more times than not, you're generally not going to want to have a sales conversation with an AI bot. But what the voice AI can do is actually support your customers through their buying journey. If they have extra questions, if they need some extra information or insights, if they just want to talk to someone about what's happening during the campaign, the voice AI is there to help them. And we had to figure this out through trial and error. So now that you understand the strategy and execution at step number 2, it's time to go to step number 3, which is crafting an irresistible offer. Is going to be the most important point for your conversions, because a lot of the time you're able to get responses from clients, but when they respond to a message and then when they see what you have to offer, that's generally when they drop off. So crafting an irresistible offer built around data is going to be your strongest way to get in and actually close these customers. So how do we actually do this? So let me give you the example of what we did for this particular client. We said to their database, "Hey Steve, it's Caleb from Oasis Clinic. We've just launched our new loyalty rewards program, and to celebrate, we're giving away $2,400 vouchers. Would you like one?" And guess what? Most people will say, yes, it's $400, right? If you gave someone $400 for free, they're gonna obviously say, yes, I'd love it. So the irresistible offer on the front end is starting off by giving them something of value. Once they get that value, the AI will then nurture them back and forth, having a conversation. "Hey Steve, it's great to speak to you. When's the last time you've been in the clinic? What can I help you with? What are your goals?" Really just breaking it down and helping the client get into an emotional buying state. Once they are in that emotional buying state, the AI will then send the type form. Once the type form is being sent, the data will be extracted from the client, and the data will then be fed into a system on the back end which we've built, which includes multiple variations of packages which are represented in multiple different funnels. Now, once these funnels are built, the AI will understand Steve wanted XYZ treatment. So he will then be sent XYZ funnel, which will then have multiple packages for him to actually convert. You see, we've now gone very personalized with the actual build and with the understanding of what the client needs. Most importantly, we're giving the client a personalized experience and not just saying, "Hey, would you like a 50% off offer?" That's just lazy. Don't do that. Now that you understand how that works, we will go through the next step, which is actually building a sales funnel. So generally sales funnels are used on ads, but not many sales funnels are used for activation. We realized that to build social proof and help convert customers, you need a really dialed in sales page. So we built multiple sales funnels, and within those sales funnels, you need to include the usual things like testimonials, reviews, videos of clients, just something to build social proof. Once you have that social proof built, you now give clients the ability to come to the page, get the social proof they need, and have the voucher ready to make a purchase. This is a really simple way for you to convert the customers and get them through the next stage of the process. Now, the next step of crafting an irresistible offer goes something like this. The campaign is not just a one-day campaign. It's actually a campaign that runs over 2, 3, 4, or 5 days. It really just depends on the client. It depends on the niche that you're in, how complex the product is, how much it costs. There's a lot of factors, but for this particular client, we ran a 3-day campaign. Day 1, we'll send what we call the opening message, and that is what I've just been through. That is sending out the opening message, having a conversation with a customer back and forth with AI, sending them the sale page and hope that they convert. If they don't convert, we will then push them into day 2. And day 2, we call it the Sicilian defense. This is a chess term and it will be in the presentation you will see later, but the Sicilian defense is essentially retracting the offer from the market so we can create a bit of a push and pull and create some FOMO for those people who actually missed out on the offer. Very important is once you retract that offer from the market, people will have a sense of urgency now and they'll realize that they missed out. And most importantly, they'll be messaging their friends saying, "Oh, I missed out on this offer. I missed out on this opportunity." But guess what? You have the opportunity to open up a day 3 and reintroduce new packages to these clients that may be more suitable to them. The packages can either be the same with a new release of vouchers, or you can do something much more simple and you can give them the ability to have new packages based upon their new preferences that you've gained from the first day batch of data. And that is very simply how you create an irresistible offer. Now let's look at step 4, which is building automation. Once your data set, strategy, and offer is locked in, it's time to build some automation. Now, building automation is simple, but if you haven't done it before, it might be a little technical for your first time. So I'm going to break it down in a way that's easy for everyone to understand. And if you want to get into the technicalities, we can go through that within our school community. So our automation is built on a variation of platforms. Number 1, you need to understand that each market is different. US, EU, Australia, they're all different markets, and each market has its own preference of instant communication. Now, I'm going to give you a hack that took me tens of thousands of dollars to figure out. Number 1 is the EU market likes using WhatsApp. Number 2, the Australian market likes using Messenger. And number 3, the US market loves using iMessage. So when you're building your automation, you need to build your automation based upon each market. Each market has a preference. Now, if you're not on the platforms that they generally use, you won't get high conversions. Once you understand the market and you understand the platform they need to be on, this is where you can can start to build your messaging and incorporate your AI bots. So for the client that we had, we decided to use text messages as that was the only platform that we're able to access at the time. Through that platform, we were able to build a conversational AI bot that went one-to-one with clients, had conversations, and helped close on packages. Now that you understand the market, it's time to go into the next step of automation, which is actually building out your conversational AI infrastructure. Number one, you need access to a conversational AI bot to plug into HighLevel. So this is going to be something like a ZappyChat or a Closebot. Next, you need a voice AI system. This is going to be something like a Synthflow or a Vappy. We particularly use Synthflow and we've had great results with that. And number three, you need to connect the automation into your client's booking systems. It depends on the niche that you're in, but for instance, we're running for cosmetic clinics and we will connect our automation directly into their booking system. Now, customers can come through our HighLevel platform, leave a deposit, and then it's directed directly into our customer's booking system. If you're an agent selling insurance or real estate, you'll then direct them into a salesperson. There is more complexities to this, and I can break this down in another video. Just let me know below if you'd like that. But the video, I'll include exactly the automations and workflows that we use within HighLevel, and you can replicate those on your end to achieve a similar result. And step number 5 is launching, testing, and refining your campaign. You have all of this data and you've built your automation, you've built your offer, and you understand the market. It's time to go and test. Testing your offer is crucial. Do not blast the whole audience at once. Say you've got 10,000 in the database. Your first idea would be, let me just hit all 10,000 at once. We recommend batch testing 100 at a time. It might take 1 day, it might take 7 days, it might take 10 days. But the truth is, the more testing that you do, the more success you'll have overall when you launch the entire data set. Let me give you a solid example. When we work with clients, I aim to get a conversion of 5 to 8 people per 100 contacts. And if I zoom that out to say an audience of 10,000 people, that's generally going to be a 5 to 8% conversion rate, which is exactly where we want to be. You won't be able to get that result until you batch test first, figure out what the market wants, how they want it, if the data you have was correct, if they're converting. Once you've done that, you'll then have the right data to send the campaign to the rest of your data set. Don't rush this process. Once you get your first conversions, wait until you get to at least 5 to 10 conversions per 100, and from there you know you're going to have a successful campaign. So very simply, this is the 5-step process we use to make a client $111,000 in just 3 days. We had 111x return on our Twilio costs, and from there we had a very happy client and also very happy business owners. We were then able to scale this offer out, and now we are offering it to other clinics in every market. And I must tell you, it is the perfect time for an offer like this, because right now businesses across the globe are seeing a bit of a downturn. This is due to the economy, not having access to capital, and a variation of other reasons. Let me explain to you that if you go to a business and tell them that you can use the data they already have and make them a ton of money, they're going to say yes. It's very simple. But if you go to pitch them media buying services for 2 to 3K, plus ask them for 2 to 3K ad spend, a lot of them just don't have that money at the moment. But if you say to them, hey, I'm going to go into your database and I'm going to make a ton of value out of it for you, I'm going to take 25% of it, but guess what? If you don't use me, you're going to get 0%. So it's very simple. And guess what? All you need to do to work with us is leave a holding deposit. That holding deposit will be used to run the initial campaign, and then the campaign will fund itself as it goes. So you can have a client working with you for $0 and make them a ton of money. Now, just remember, if you want to get more information on how to actually run this for your clients, or if you're a local business, how to do this for yourself, click the link below and join the Skool community waitlist. And as soon as we open it up, we're going to give you access to the 60-page presentation, and we're going to show you exactly how to run this for your customers.